Hey everybody, it's Lisa from Lisa Bug Fitness and Yoga. And I just wanted to leave a video here as I begin a little bit of a video log about my upcoming knee replacement and recovery. So just a little bit of a background on what's been going on with my knee. You can take a look at the way my legs are shaped. My right leg is pretty straight. My left knee has a fairly severe knock knee. This is called a valgus knee. And this has been happening over the course of several years. And what led up to that valgus knee is when I was in my early 20s, in the early 80s, I was still doing active tumbling, just for fun. I had competed as a gymnast and a tumbler in my earlier childhood years, but I was still doing some tumbling just to stay fit and on occasion competing in a few local and regional meets. So I was at a workshop and I was trying to get this skill called a back punch front. And what that entailed was running down the tumbling mat, doing a round off back handspring, back flip, and then as you came down to land on the ground, you landed on a little bit of an angle, and just as you hit the ground, you punched with your legs to spring forward and do an immediate front flip. And I was struggling a little bit with this skill. I kept doing the front flip and falling back on my rear. So the workshop was just about over, and I had one more opportunity to get that skill and to nail it. And to be honest, I was looking to get an award for this skill. That was kind of a dangling carrot out there. So I ran down the mat vigorously, round off back handspring, back flip, and I threw it a little higher than usual because the adrenaline was going. So when I came down out of the back flip, my timing was off. So as I came down, I thought I was going to hit the ground and I punched with my legs, but the ground wasn't there yet. So when I punched, I extended my legs completely straight, locked out my knees. When I hit the ground, my left knee hyperextended backward and I blew out my ACL. So I had an arthroscopic surgery at that time. The doctor said, "You've shredded your ACL. You probably need to have a reconstruction done, but maybe we can try strengthening your quads and see if you have enough strength in your muscles to stave off the surgery," which I tried to for several years, but it wasn't working. My knee was very unstable. It kept slipping and sliding out of place, especially when I was pregnant with my first child, Lindy, my daughter. So when she was about 2 years old, I decided to go ahead and have the surgery done, the ACL reconstruction. And at that time, in 1985, they weren't doing the surgery arthroscopically yet. So I have a nice big long scar up my knee from where that surgery took place. And they took the center third of my patellar tendon out and they constructed a new ACL ligament. The surgery went great. I have a great ACL. The only problem was I had the surgery done a couple of days before Christmas and the physical therapy office closed between Christmas and New Year's. So I couldn't get in for my first PT appointment until I think it was the 4th or 5th of January by the time they reopened the office. By that time, I had been in a knee immobilizer brace. My knee was frozen. I could not bend or fully extend my knee. So it took me 1 year of painful physical therapy to finally get the range of motion back in my knee. That involved a couple of manipulations in the physical therapy office where they put you on your stomach and they force your knee to bend and it cracks off the scar tissue. Really painful. Then I also had a surgical manipulation where they put you under general anesthesia, they crack the knee down, and they send you home with a CPM machine, the continuous passive motion machine. I worked as hard as I could, and finally at 1 year, I was able to bring my heel back to my rear and have full flexion of my knee. I never quite got full extension though, because I didn't realize at the time I had a big ball of scar tissue in my knee called a cyclops knee. So fast forward several years. I was a fitness instructor. I taught high impact aerobics. I taught high impact kickboxing, step aerobics. I was a runner. I was a triathlete. So I put a lot of wear and tear on that knee that had already been through a lot of trauma. Back in about 2008 or so, I had a surgery again on this knee to remove the cyclops knee and to also do a lateral release for my quadricep because it was pulling my kneecap over to the side and creating some chondromalacia. A few years later, I tore the meniscus in that knee as I was doing a hike, and I tripped on the gravel and I fell and I twisted my knee. So I had to have another surgery on it to kind of clean up the meniscus and to remove a few bone spurs. So with all of that and all of that trauma in my knee started moving and shifting into this lateral knock knee or valgus knee. It's really accelerated in the last couple years, and my orthopedic surgeon said, we've got to get this fixed because if we wait any longer, it's just going to get worse. And it's going to be more tricky to get this knee to straighten out after total knee replacement, which for me is really important to get that knee back to straight, to have the correct biomechanics with the rest of my body, because I feel like I'm compensating with my hips and my ankles and even my spine when I walk. I'm all out of whack, so I need to get this fixed. So in 6 days, I have total knee replacement on September 18th. It's one night in the hospital, and then I start that physical therapy right away. There's going to be no delay this time. I'm going to start working on that range of motion, and I know it's going to be painful. This is a painful procedure, no doubt, but I'm motivated to get my strength back, to get my mobility back, my range of motion back, and work hard on that process so I can get back to doing what I love, which is teaching my Lisa Bug fitness and yoga classes and my YMCA classes. So my plan is to leave you a video on my YouTube page, even maybe on Facebook, about once a week or so, to just give you a progress report on how I'm doing. How is my mobility? Am I still using a walker? Am I using a cane? How is my range of motion? What's my degree of flexion and extension? How's my strength doing? Can I do some squats? Can I do some toe raises? I've got a Pilates reformer at home. I'm going to be utilizing that for range of motion. I have a lovely friend that's letting me borrow her bike trainer. So I'm going to be working on going around on the bike and doing what I can to get that knee rehabilitated and get back to normal for me. So I thank you so much, those of you that are in my Lisa Bug community. I feel all the support, I feel the love, and I can't wait to get back to teaching you very soon. So I'll be in touch, and who knows, maybe there's some folks on YouTube that are about to get a knee replacement that can watch my videos too and have a little bit of encouragement and inspirational nudge as they move forward with their knee replacement as well. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next time. Talk to you soon. Take care.